must be a terribly lonely life to constantly die and be reborn to save someone else. Even your death isn't your own. Next episode, next story. Let's do this. If you like abstract, funny, and real-world anime content, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Sailor Moon / Princess Serenity / Neo Queen Serenity had a loyal group of scouts who devoted their lives to protecting her. Sometimes this meant making the ultimate sacrifice, and not just once either. Our poor Sailor Scouts aren't new to death. Here's how they've died a lot of times and why each one was necessary. Queen Serenity 1, Sailor Scouts 0. The Sailor Scouts / Sailor Guardians / Sailor Senshi, I may use those interchangeably just so you know, they are not natives of Earth. They come from the Moon Kingdom. After the battle against the Negaverse destroyed their home, Queen Serenity used the Silver Crystal to send the Scouts and Prince Endymion down to Earth. Now, they were reborn with no memory of their past, and Luna and Artemis were sent to awaken them when the time came, if it came. This sacrifice from the Queen began their endless cycle of life and death. So this wasn't a death in the traditional sense, but they were memory wiped and reborn. So yes, it's going on the counter. Without Queen Serenity's sacrifice, the Sailor Scouts never would have been reborn on Earth, and the Moon Kingdom's legacy would have ended completely. DD Girls 1, Sailor Scouts 0. Season 1, which is simply titled Sailor Moon, was the first time we see our beloved Scouts die on screen. Now, the funny part is, if you grew up watching the heavily censored DiC version, like I did, they were captured or abducted into the Negaverse, which altered the meaning of Sailor Moon's fight after this happened. In the original context, she was fighting for vengeance. In the DiC version, she was fighting as a rescue. The DD Girls were the toughest enemies yet, able to lure the Scouts into traps using illusions. Sailor Jupiter dies first, but not without taking 2 of the DD Girls with her. Yet another reason why I rank her the strongest of the Inner Scouts. Now, y'all know I give Sailor Mercury a lot of grief, but she actually acknowledges her strengths as well as her weaknesses. Mercury realizes the source of the illusions and destroys it, allowing the others to see clearly. She stays behind to change the outcome of the fight since she knows that Sailor Moon needs more offensive abilities on her side. She's killed right after this. Sailor Venus takes one of the DD Girls out with her, and then Sailor Mars goes out in a blaze of glory, taking out the remaining 2 DD Girls and clearing the path for Sailor Moon to keep moving forward. Tuxedo Mask, although not a scout, breaks his brainwashing and he dies saving Sailor Moon. Spoiler alert, Sailor Moon defeats Queen Beryl with the Silver Crystal and resets the universe, effectively reincarnating herself and her friends back on Earth with no memory of being Sailor Scouts. That's why there's 4 more seasons after this. This is necessary because each of those Inner Scouts' death cleared the path for Sailor Moon to reach Queen Beryl. Their sacrifices gave her a chance to end the battle and restore the world. Wise Man 1, Sailor Moon 0. Season 2 of Sailor Moon, titled Sailor Moon R, sees fewer deaths this time. This time, Sailor Moon briefly dies while using the Silver Crystal, but she's almost instantly revived. Now, this is necessary because Sailor Moon's brief death showed the extreme cost of using the Silver Crystal, a risk that she's willing to take to protect both the past and the future Earth. UDI 1, Outer Scouts 0. Season 3 of Sailor Moon, titled Sailor Moon S, had the looming threat of massive death, but only took a few losses. Udial, the first of the Witches 5, working to actively extract pure hearts from people, is a brilliant inventor and leader working for Professor Tomoe and the Deathbusters. She sets up a trap for Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune in a cathedral to steal their talisman. Once Uranus and Neptune arrive at the cathedral, they're ambushed. Neptune is trapped and killed when her pure heart is removed, turning into a mirror. And when Sailor Moon can't return Neptune's heart crystal, Uranus extracts her own, sacrificing herself too. Sailor Pluto then reappears, revealing her own talisman, the Garnet Rod, and she returns the talisman to Uranus and Neptune, reviving them both so that the 3 Outer Scouts can awaken their full powers. Now for the biggie, Sailor Saturn actually a Sailor Saturn and not one of the 35 people that's possessing her, sacrifices herself to destroy Pharaoh 90. She is reborn as a baby and is shown being carried by Super Sailor Moon. Uranus and Neptune's death triggered the awakening of the 3 talismans, summoning Sailor Saturn to end Pharaoh 90's threat. This is also how Sailor Moon's heart chalice appeared. Sailor Galaxia, 9. Sailor Scouts, 0. Sailor Galaxia did not play the radio, do you hear me? She picks off each of the Sailor Scouts one by one to steal their star seeds. It starts off with Sailor Mercury and Jupiter, which they really played on my girl's top because she should not have been one of the first ones to go. But anyways, then it's followed up by Sailor Mars, Sailor Venus, Sailor Neptune, Sailor Uranus, with these 2 touching hands and perishing to the warmth together, Sailor Pluto, and Sailor Saturn. The Sailor Scouts are revived through the power of the Galaxy Cauldron and Sailor Cosmos, which is Sailor Moon's ultimate form. Now this was necessary because Sailor Galaxia's slaughter of the Sailor Scouts stripped Sailor Moon of every ally, forcing her to stand alone in the final battle for the galaxy's survival. Comment which of the villains you think could have defeated Sailor Galaxia. Now, on to the films. The Scouts were more so mortally wounded, but not dead. Up first is Sailor Moon R, the Promise of the Rose. The Scouts are critically injured fighting Fiore's minions, and Sailor Moon sacrifices and mortally wounds her own self by using the silver crystal, but she's revived along with the team by Fiore. Sailor Moon S, Hearts in Ice, the lover of Princess Kaguya. The Sailor Scouts are nearly frozen to death. Sailor Moon revives them with the silver crystal. And finally, Sailor Moon Super S, Black Dream Hole. The Scouts are drained inside the Black Dream Hole until Sailor Moon can free them. Comment which death hit you the hardest out of all of them. When one arc ends, another one begins. See you next time.